my children. Shall we take another peek into the best in illustrated science horror? Shall we see what Cousin Eerie has dredged up for us? Of course we should! Here we go! We start things off with shadow play. Mr. Durham goes to see a psychiatrist because of this psychological trouble he is having. You see, he feels very guilty about the little girl he killed in a hit and run. His psychiatrist, though, doesn't seem to mind when he explains this, even telling Durham that they can remove his guilt through a unique form of therapy he's developed. He tells Durham about the concept of the shadow, the Jungian idea of the cruel aspects of our personality that we wish to bury or forget. And if Durham wants to be freed of his cruelty and guilt, he should sit down in this little chair, be strapped down, and have those negative impulses, those toxic attitudes, sucked from his body. I'm pretty sure this was a Rick and Morty episode. And so those horrible negative impulses and ideas are drained and put into a tube, where it forms into a shadowy replica of Durham. His sins have been cast out. His soul is totally pure. And hey, how many people can say they died in such a state, eh? Yes, the psychiatrist frees the creature and lets it murder Durham and take on his identity. And hey, he's totally free of guilt about all the things he's done. The psychiatrist should know. He himself was the first test subject of the device. Next up we have Invulnerable. In the deepest part of Brazil, a rich man ventures forth in the jungle until he comes across a sorceress who can heal any injury. The man, Henry Moncrief, is desperate, having inherited a genetic disorder that will slowly kill him. The technology that might save his life is at least a decade out from completion, so his only hope now is magic. He pleads for her help, though of course she warns him that what he wants may not be for him. She provides him with a potion she can only make one of, and tells him to climb a mountain that night. When he reaches the top when the clouds clear in the night sky, he must drink all of it. Unfortunately, a bird soars near him and he spills some of it. He angrily berates the healer, who tells him that he was warned to drink all of it, though she admits he should get checked out by his doctors again, since a partial dose may have had a partial effect. Once he returns to New York, his doctors do say that he should see them, since something strange is happening to his bones, organs, and connective tissue. But on the way, he gets into a massive car crash and explosion. And he survives! Well, he survives as flesh and bone without any eyes. And finally we have the alien plague. A spaceship is sent out to a planet to investigate incidents of a strange alien plague. Previous expeditions to look into it were never heard from again. So I guess they figured 7th time's the charm. And a lone individual is sent down to the last known coordinates of people to try to find out what happened. He's transported to a city dump, where he finds, of all things, a comic book! One that's talking about the alien plague. The story in a story tells of a research team trying to find out more about the plague, how it transformed the bodies. But soon the transformations ended and they simply disintegrated. The team realizes that the other strange thing about the plague is that all paper has vanished. While one of the team is struck by a small piece of metal, other scientists speculate that the plague is actually a life form, an alien that's trying to be transported in human bodies, but they cannot sustain themselves in human form, instead devouring them from the inside, causing the disintegration. They realize that all of the outbreaks of plague started near city dumps, realizing that the aliens feed on, of all things, wood pulp, as well as the blood of humans, but mostly wood pulp. Soon the group has found the only place where there's still paper, a city dump, one full of comic books. And those comics are full of small pieces of metal, staples. And those staples launch out and attack the scientists, as it may well happen with the framing story of the investigator at the dump. Oh, positively eerie, my children, especially when you consider that comic books don't kill people. Most of the time, anyway.